Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we do begin tonight with the indictment of former President Donald Trump. Good evening, I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Thanks for joining us. Today's indictment by a New York grand jury makes this the first time a former commander-in-chief has faced a criminal charge. Fox 61's Brent Harden joins us in studio tonight with the newest information about this indictment. Brent.
Yeah, Jen, Ben, those charges from a Manhattan grand jury remain sealed tonight, but prosecutors and defense lawyers have confirmed the indictment. It comes from an investigation into payments during the 2016 presidential campaign as hush money to hide an alleged sexual encounter with a porn star. Now, Trump is accused of funneling $130,000 to Stormy Daniels through his former lawyer, Michael Cohen. The grand jury was deciding whether Trump lied on business documents when reporting money paid back to Cohen as legal expenses. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg did not speak to reporters when leaving his office this evening. The spokesperson says the DA's office contacted Trump's lawyer to, quote, coordinate his surrender for arraignment. Trump is expected to turn himself in to authorities sometime next week. The spokesperson also says more information will be given once that arraignment date is set. Now, in a scathing statement released by the former president, Trump said in part, quote, this is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. The former president went on to take aim at Democrats, saying Democrats have, quote, lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump, in quotes, but now they've done the unthinkable, indicting a completely innocent person in an act of blatant election interference. In a separate case, the Manhattan District Attorney before Bragg was a part of the conviction of the Trump Organization. Back in December, the former president's company was found guilty on tax fraud charges. A former Trump Organization executive named Alan Weisselberg pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 months in jail. In the studio, Brent Harden, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station. Jen and Ben, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Brent. Former President Trump's indictment is a historic moment and also has political impacts on next year's presidential race.
Former President Trump campaigned as recently as last weekend, and there is no sign that he plans on suspending his campaign after being indicted. Fox 61's Jake Garcia joining us in studio tonight after talking with political and criminal justice experts about this case. Jake?
Well, Ben, Jen, a historic announcement from the Manhattan District Attorney could set legal precedent in charging presidents in the future. Political and legal scholars watching the case very closely in the next few weeks.
You know, it's never happened before, and all the things that I imagined that this day would bring has been really both anticlimactic and even more shocking.
Today's announcement of an indictment against former President Donald Trump is just the beginning of a long legal process against him.
And this process could take a considerable amount of time, even while Trump will continue his run for the presidency during a really critical part of the nomination process.
Sources say Trump is expected to turn himself into authorities next week in New York. Political experts interested to see how independent voters will react.
Will they now swing towards the Democrats, or will they stay in place? Or, you know, will some of them decide that they really want Donald Trump?
On the judicial side, some interested to see the exact charges, which remain under seal for now. But based on what we know about the investigation so far, it could be a long shot.
You know, they're taking a misdemeanor charge and trying to bootstrap it over to a federal elections charge that was declined. My guess is that there's going to be a lot of time spent in court before they even get to a trial, trying to figure out, is this a valid charge?
While federal attorneys declined the felony election charges, many details are still unknown, but today's announcement does send a message.
There's a concern that people's perception, you know, that there is no justice here, that it's kind of not a level playing field anymore. And that's bad for the country. And that's why there's concern over, you know, this indictment coming in.
Now, it's important to remember that indictment is just a finding of probable cause and is far from a conviction. The indictment of former President Trump is expected to be made public over the next few days. In studio, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All righty, Jake, thank you. We'll continue to bring you updates on the indictment of the former president. Be sure to download the free Fox 61 News app or visit fox61.com for all the latest information.
All right, turning to the forecast right now, it might be spring, but some areas woke up to snow on the ground after last night's weather rolled through.
Yeah, the sun came out today. Warmth didn't exactly come with it. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, you would think, almost, what is it, April 1st tomorrow, 2 days? Tomorrow, the sun would be a little bit stronger.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're getting there. In fact, a lot of the snow that was on the ground this morning, if you ended up seeing any this morning, it melted really quickly because of that powerful late March sun. It really got to quick work on this. This is from John Keegan this morning in Oakdale. Yes, it was chilly out there today. Temperatures tomorrow will be closer to 50 degrees, and we're tracking some rain for late tomorrow or tomorrow night, but most of the day will be dry. 37 right now in the Hartford area. We're close to 40 for New Haven. Overnight lows will be dipping back into the 20s as we head towards daybreak. So it was chilly this morning to start off the day, but it could be a little bit cooler to start off tomorrow. Otherwise, any early sunshine that we end up seeing will fade behind increasing clouds. We're still dry at lunchtime, but there will be a rising chance for some rain again, not only later in the day, but especially at night. And it looks warm, wet, and windy heading into your Saturday, but there is a window of time that you can get outside and kind of enjoy that warmth before some late day showers and storms roll through. We'll explain your full forecast, taking a look at the changeable weekend coming up.
April 1st in 2 days.
Saturday.
Incorrected. Thank you, Rachel. To Windsor Locks tonight, police have arrested a man accused of an armed carjacking against a 67-year-old. Police say 21-year-old Elian Enstramera approached a 67-year-old victim while he was pumping gas, showed a weapon, and then demanded the car. He then was said to have pushed the victim to the ground but was unsuccessful in getting the car into gear, so he ran away. Estramera was arrested and charged with third-degree larceny, robbery, and carjacking. He's being held on a $150,000 bond.
And the West Hartford Police Department is attempting to identify a suspect accused of showing a gun during an open gym session at the Sedgwick Middle School. Police releasing these photos of people they are looking to talk to, and here's the car that they apparently left in as well. They say that there was a fight at the gym during a basketball game, and a man pulled out a firearm around 9 p.m. yesterday. If anyone has information about the person or people in these photos or of the car, please contact West Hartford Police. All right, the UConn men are resting up tonight after getting in their first day of practice for the Final Four.
The Huskies arrived in Houston, Texas late last night after a huge send-off celebration on campus and stores here in Connecticut. The Huskies will take on the Miami Hurricanes, a team that used to be in the Big East with them 20 years ago. Plenty of Husky fans are on their way down to Houston tonight to cheer on UConn at NRG Stadium.
Fox 61's Gabby Molina joins us live in stores tonight after hearing from some of them as they head down to the Lone Star State. Gabby.
Well, Ben and Jen, we already know that Gamble is going to be packed with fans on Saturday, so they're going to have plenty of support from here at home, but they're also going to have fans right there in the stands with them all the way in Texas. Amid the crowd at a busy Bradley Airport terminal, UConn fans were easy to spot.
I am a big UConn fan. I went to UConn, graduated in '92, so we've been a fan since. I was there for the opening of Gamble. I've had season tickets all this year, so very excited to go.
His destination, Houston, to watch his Huskies play in person.
I was at one other Final Four, and it was 1999 when they won the whole thing.
But don't ask Chris Wachtel if that means he's bringing the luck.
I'm actually afraid of jinxing, but that's why I don't like to say it out loud.
He took the trip down with fellow supporters on board.
1, 2, touchdown! UConn!
Yay! The Cray family of Glastonbury.
We just had the opportunity and we decided, why not? Like, that's our new, we are becoming yes men, so we're going to say yes to everything now.
A little serendipity and a lot of planning.
It was a lot of scrambling, hotels, flights, working out logistics, but we're excited.
Connecticut's run in the tournament so far, making it easy for the family to say yes to Texas last minute, while others had bet on the Huskies long before.
I actually lucked out and planned before the tournament began that I was going to go down for the Final Four, and was super lucky that UConn actually made it. Maybe not luck, they're a really good team.
And UConn Nation is expected to show up for them in a big way.
I've followed them to Albany, and I know we basically took over the arena in Albany, so Houston I'm hoping will be the same and that we'll have a great crowd down there.
Unfortunately, the tickets for the general public to attend the watch party here at Gamble are sold out. There are still some first-come, first-served tickets available for students. Live in stores, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It's going to be a fun night, Gabby. Thank you. And new video tonight shows one of UConn's biggest legends firing up the Huskies before they went down to Texas. Former coach Jim Calhoun has given a couple pep talks to the team during the NCAA tournament, and he gave another one to them this week. Calhoun is a Hall of Famer who led the Huskies to their first 2 national titles in 1999 and 2004. He retired for about 6 years before coaching at Division III St. Joseph in West Hartford. Calhoun told the Huskies that they're 80 minutes away from joining the other 4 historic champions from UConn.
There's been 4 teams that won a national championship here. I got a feeling. It's not just my feeling. I know you can. Okay? I know you can. You'll be there. Forever. I'm telling you, it's one of the great experiences of your life. With that experience, we're doing one simple thing. Let's win the doubleheader. Let's go.
There it is, and a correction here, it was in 2004. Well, this will be UConn's 6th trip to the Final Four. Their last one was in 2014 when they won the national title.
If Huskies fans wanted a little extra mojo in Houston, they're getting it in the form of their beloved mascot, Jonathan the 14th. The Huskies mascot account tweeted this evening that Jonathan is on a plane down to Texas to cheer on UConn. The school put out a statement this afternoon, one day after he was unable to fly down with them and the team. We talked to one student before Jonathan got his plane ticket. He says that Jonathan is an important part of UConn athletics.
Of course we need him there. We should have shipped him off on a boat or something. It don't matter, a car, but it's fine. He'll be supporting, and everybody knows he's going to be supporting us.
And the 14th is the first Siberian Husky to serve as UConn's mascot since the athletic department changed its logo in 2013. He's named after Jonathan Trumbull, who was Connecticut's first governor.
And our coverage of the Huskies in the Final Four continues later in sports.
We have much more ahead here on